Outdoor Pro Shop, LLC. Outdoor Pro Shop is a family-owned and operated firearms dealer and sporting goods retailer. They have pay-over-time options, a rewards program, and customer service satisfaction that is unmatched. They might not be the biggest, but they strive to be the best. Contact them today at 240-360-1298 or visit them on the web at www.outdoor-pro-shop.com. That's Outdoor Pro Shop, 240-360-1298.
Folks, welcome to another episode of On the Limb Podcast with Nature's Voice Game Calls, where deer camp becomes a reality for every listener. Join us as we talk God, family, country, and everything outdoors. Kick back, relax, and have a listen. Now, here's your host and co-host, Mike and Dan.
Well, folks, thanks for joining us on the show this evening. BJ is not in, and Dan's on vacation, so I'm flying solo this evening. But I got a great guest on this evening, Gregg Bowman with Bowman Outdoor Adventures, and we'll be with him just in a little bit. I'm going to tell you about some promo codes real quick first. So we are on Carbon TV on the premier streaming network that they have there. We have video version and audio version there, both. And we're also on Gen 7 Outdoors TV. So we just started airing there, and there's a bunch of new episodes there that we've just got finished uploading. So we're trying to get everything synced to where everything goes out at the same time. So we started with Carbon TV with Dave Constantine, and that was our first episode there. We started with a different episode on Gen 7 Outdoors, but we're working into getting it into routine. So I think we've got about 8 more episodes in the backlog, and I'm trying to have the rest of those out before the middle of next week or maybe the end of next week. So we've got a lot of them. But if you go over to Trout Routes, be sure to go over there, troutroutes.com, and use promo code NATURE26, and you can get 3-month membership for free. Otters, new places. They also have access points to where. You there?
Yeah, you froze up. I'm here. Are you here?
Yep, I'm here. Maybe we had a little different connection there. Our connection must have went out. So anyways, you can go over to troutroutes.com and use Nature26 for 3-month membership for free. And those are available on Android and both Apple stores. So be sure to check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Carbon TV, Gen 7 TV, or wherever you get your podcast. All right, so without further ado, please welcome with me Gregg Bowman with Bowman Outdoor Adventures. Gregg, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing outstanding. How are you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing great. Sorry about that interruption there. We had a little, it showed me their connection that was lost, but it come right back on, so that's good.
It's all right. We're good.
You always have a little bit of technical difficulties coming into these things. You never know.
That's right. Mothman strikes again.
Yeah. Good Lord, I tell you. So, Gregg, you're from right here in West Virginia as well. So if you don't care, just start off telling us a little bit about yourself and your background.
All right. I grew up in McDowell County, as it's pronounced locally, in Yeager.
There you go.
Yeah, I left from there in the early 90s, come on over to Virginia, but my roots will always be in good old take me home country roads, West Virginia.
I got you.
I've been in Virginia longer than I stayed in West Virginia, but you can't take the West Virginia out of me.
I hear you. That's usually the way it is for every West Virginian, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yep. I see you're sporting your West Virginia Mountaineer gear there today. You ready for football season to come out already?
Yes, I am. And I couldn't come on a West Virginia show and not show that I'm a supporter too. I mean, ain't no way I'm putting on nothing Virginia.
Well, I tell you, I bleed blue and gold, but I have a sister that lives in Abingdon, Virginia, so I got to root for the Hokies every now and then.
Oh, no, man.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, the best thing to come out of Blacksburg is Route 460 to West Virginia.
That's a good way to put that for sure. Oh, man. So, how did what is Bowman Outdoor Adventures, if you just don't care to tell us?
All right, so we are just a Christian-based, family-oriented, outdoor, real creation content. If it's got horns or it's got tails and fins, we're going after it.
Nice. So strictly hunting and fishing and outdoors and all the good stuff in between.
Yeah, we like to travel and have a good time and go to the beach and all of that too, but
Yeah.
it's still I grew up and I like to eat. And I like to shoot what I eat. It's a whole lot better for you.
Buddy, isn't that the truth? I tell you, I love deer. Not too big on squirrel and rabbit. Rabbit's better to me than squirrel, but I was kind of ruined on squirrel when I was at deer camp one year with my one of my uncle's good friends, and it must have just been the way he was fixing it because it just completely stunk like high heaven, and I was like, there's no way I could do that.
Deer camp usually involves a lot of alcohol, so it's hard to tell what entailed
Yeah,
in it.
yeah, that's true. You learn a lot of things in deer camp.
Yeah, you grow up
You
fast.
learn a lot of good things and learn a lot of bad things and life lessons, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, that's for sure. So, we were talking there a little bit earlier, and you was like, "Well, it's kind of not." I was asking you if you could give me a little background on the business, and you're like, "Well, it's kind of not a business."
Right.
So, tell us, clarify a little bit more why it's not a business to you. Is it because of the passion that is in it?
Well, it started off basically as just a thought, and of course, the good Lord, he talked to me a little bit like he does all the time. He said, "This is what you're going to do," and like every time he tells us to do something, we resist. But he won, and I had the passion to do for outdoors, and I was like, "Man," I said, "if I can just create this, everybody's going to love me." That's not how it works. But I like to chase my passion and I like to just be in the woods or be on the riverbank or lake or just lay on the beach or whatever the good Lord has in store for me. I'm going to embrace it. But it
Yeah,
started off just as a thought and he led me down the other way. And I don't know, and we'll get into that a little bit later, but I don't know what he was trying to tell me at the time, but I think I kind of figured it out. And it was just for when people turn that YouTube or Gen 7 or Facebook or all that on, that it always I pray that they see him through me.
that's
And
awesome. Yep. That's one of the things that we're always supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be being that shining light,
yeah, and I
to
thought, man, I started fishing when I was 2 years old, and my grandpa always told me that I could catch a trout in a rain barrel. And I thought, man, I'm the master at all of this. This is going to be a big hit. I'm going to be the next real tree outdoor bone collector hero. Yeah, it
yeah.
don't work like that though.
No. So in one sentence, what could you sum up Bowman Outdoor Adventures?
Exactly what it says. If it involves outdoors, that's us. Starting off with hunting, then fishing, and then just camping and anything involved in the outdoors. Family has got to be there too, but you know, all of that
Yeah.
all centers around God, and you know, it's like I said, I grew up doing it, and I'll always do it, even if they try to take it away. I mean, I can still do it.
Isn't that crazy? They're trying to take fishing and hunting away in different states. What's going on with
Yeah,
that?
especially my state. When you elect those, those type of people that don't believe in it, know no. The main reason they don't believe in it because they know nothing about it.
Yeah.
They're uneducated about the outdoors. All they see is other people talking how bad it is, and they form an opinion and never have experienced it. One thing I always fall back to because I'm a big hound hunter for bear,
Yeah. Okay.
and people bash bear hunting so much, and 99% of them have never been.
Oh, I guarantee it. Yeah, that's one thing that I have not done, and I want to do it.
Oh, it's a blast.
I definitely want to go bear hunting. I grew up with uncles and cousins and stuff that had bear hunted, but they all live in the Princeton Bluefield area.
Oh yeah,
So if we wasn't at deer camp in Pocahontas County, then we normally wasn't hunting together because we didn't go up there to Bluefield to hunt. We went to Bluefield and Princeton to visit family during that time.
yeah.
And
The week of Thanksgiving, school shut down. Of course, I was in McDowell
yeah,
County Schools, and it was bow only. So when the week of Thanksgiving rolled around, I too was in Pocahontas County deer hunting.
isn't that great? I
Yeah,
love. I grew up hunting and fishing up there, and that's some of the best parts of my childhood memory.
Mine too. My grandparents lived there for 20, almost 30 some years, and I spent every minute I could there.
So I guarantee you know where Durbin is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and a little place called Willdale.
Yep, heard of that. I
Yep.
was next to Watauga State Park.
Okay, so we would enter in right there on the Glady side, and
Mhm.
we would go into Willdale, and usually between Willdale and Durbin, I believe it was like 7 to 10 miles, but it seemed like an hour and a half drive because you're on a gravel road, just going and going and going. But I grew up fishing over Shaver's Fork down there in Bemis at
Yep,
the bridge, and caught many, many a trout there, and still do today. My son's got to go up there with me and experience that too, so that's
good
awesome.
deal.
So, do you have kids?
Yeah, we got 2 kids. They're both parents themselves. My daughter, she has 1 child that's 11, almost 18, and my son has 3 kids, and
Awesome.
they're a ball of fire, I tell you what.
Like they was when they were younger, I'm sure.
Yeah, and my mom always likes to tell the stories about me to them, and I try to convince them that she doesn't know what she's talking about, but
No,
she
and none
probably
of that
knows
ever
better than I do.
happened, right?
Yeah, no, that try to influence them better than what I was.
Yeah. Well, I've learned that with my kids. It's kind of, I'm blessed with 2 great kids. I have a son and a daughter, and I was wild when I was young, and I was like, Lord, I just hope how everybody says you're going to pay for that later.
Uh-huh.
I'm hoping that I wasn't that person, and today it stayed true. So I thank God that He's watched over them and kept them out of trouble, and just
Thank
they've went and done great things.
thank God that he brought us this far, because if we were in charge of it, it'd have ended a long time ago.
Ain't that right? Amen to that, brother.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So your original story and inspiration kind of came from other local outdoor content creators. So you kind of met up with them and you guys had gotten a game plan on what you was wanting to do. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I grew up watching the Virgil Ward and the Bill Dances and the Hank Parkers and
Oh, yeah.
all of them.
Yep.
And that all of those, and Bill Jordan and Jackie Bushman, all those were just a dream job that no West Virginia country boy was ever going to be able to accomplish. So of course, YouTube comes along, and you start watching these creators, and you find out, man, they're right here. They're right here local.
Yeah.
So I got to talk to them. I mean, they're famous. They're YouTube famous. I need to get their autograph. But the local sports show here in Fishersville, well, of course, I had met Michael Waddell and the Pig Man and all them at the sports show, but like I said, they're too far out of reach to even talk about.
Yeah.
So these local guys, once they get, YouTube famous and community famous, they set up at the sports show in Fishersville that happens every February. I was like, I need to go talk to them and just meet them. Of course, Kenny Davis, he was there. I got to talk to him for a little bit of Whitetail Frenzy. Great fella. If y'all don't watch Whitetail Frenzy, you're missing out. Another West Virginia boy. If anybody says West Virginia, you automatically grab my attention.
Yeah.
But I met these guys, these content creators for YouTube, and I could just see when people come up, they would light up, and just I was like, man, I mean, they're inspiring me to want to do this. Of course, I already do it. Why not show the world about it?
Oh yeah.
Then I got then I was like, man, there's no way I could do that. But after watching them, and God above said, you know what? That's gonna be you. I said, well, okay, then here we go. So that's kind of how it all started. I just pick up the phone and start recording, and your your first video, you are a hit in your mind, and everybody's gonna love you, and you got the best content in the world. And you find out quick that nobody knows you, nobody loves you, and your content sucks when you first start.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
But just talking to them, the whole family was surrounded them because they're on the videos and shaking hands, and it was just an atmosphere that you just have to really be there to witness it.
Yeah. So meeting those creators in person and feeling the joy that they have doing what they love to do for the
Yeah.
out industry. How was that?
Oh, it was great because they said even if you don't even if you don't have a following or subscribers or whatever you want to call it, just having that footage that you can go back and watch for every how many years you want to watch it, and even
Mhm.
bring your grandkids and kids along so they can watch it. And just the one guy from Mountain Music and Mules, George Lambert, he was there. His dad was there. His son, his wife, and some other people that he hunts with that he records with was there. And I mean, they're just a great group of down to earth people, and they were all just close knit. It's just an atmosphere that was phenomenal.
That's great. That's awesome. So, when you said at that moment when God said, "Now it's your time to do it, let's do it." So, how was that? How did that feel when that finally, because you kind of wanted to do it before, but you
Yeah,
hadn't really got that. Uh,
the fear tries to take over.
yeah, and you
The
kind of got.
fear and the unknowledge about it, that's not even a word, but I'm gonna use it. The unknowledge about any of it,
Yeah.
other than I'd spent my whole life doing it.
Uh-huh.
But when Father speaks, and I grew up with when the Father spoke, the next thing to come along was a belt, and I wasn't looking for the belt, so let's
Yeah.
react on it.
So you're wanting to use this in your platform as a vehicle to get it out to, obviously, to minister to people,
Yep.
and with hunting, fishing, and things that you love to do.
There's so many people out there that doesn't know how to do any of it. I mean, just like
That's true.
before I even started this, I worked with people and they was like, "Man, I know how to hunt and I know how to shoot a deer, but I don't know how to gut it. I don't know how to skin it. I don't know how to cut it up." So the one guy comes to mind. We left work early one day because he had one in the cooler. I said, "Bring it to the house, and when you leave, it's going to be vacuum sealed, ready to go in the freezer." And that was 10 years ago almost, and to this day, he still talks about it. So that's the kind of people I mostly like to reach, the people that are lost and need the word of God put in them. But secondly, I like to teach the people that doesn't know anything about it, and get the hunting industry in particular gets a bad rap, and I would like to be able to show people that it's not all what you hear and see on the national news and everything else, that it is a lot of good stuff comes out of it. So that's another thing I'm chasing. Hey, let's teach that person that doesn't know anything about it what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's
A
great.
lot of people didn't get to grow up in deer camp and go spend a whole week doing nothing but that. They had to
You're right. Yeah.
kick and grind and didn't I mean, they lived up in the big city that didn't have anything like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So when you heard the Lord say that, and you finally decided to press record there in March of 2025,
Yes, sir.
what did that feel like?
It was awful. I didn't wanna speak to the camera. I turned the camera away from me, and I fit my very first YouTube video, I filmed my dog, was like 45 seconds, and I spoke behind it. I said, "Man, that Southern West Virginia accent's really shining today." I hated the way I sounded, and then my second video, my little grandson at the time, I don't even think he was 1 year old. I was
Yeah.
still scared to put the camera on me, so I set it up and recorded him pushing him around, just trying to feel the editing a little bit. But my third video come along, I was like, "Man, I'm gonna give these secrets away that probably ain't nobody heard about in the hunting industry." And I
Mhm.
filmed myself, and I was more nervous than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
Oh
And
gosh,
then
that's
and then there again, I've sat down. I mean, the editing was terrible and everything about it was terrible, and I thought, "This is a masterpiece," and it was like 45 minutes long, and everybody's gonna love it, and then you watch the gurus that's supposed to know everything is about it and said that about 8 to 12 minutes on a video, and I was like, "I gotta cut this down." I cut it down, it was still 30 minutes, and I cut it down, and I think it ended up being 18 minutes, and now I go back and watch it, and I'm just but that's it, you gotta start somewhere,
you gotta start somewhere, that's right. If you
and
go back and look at Bill Dance's videos way back when he
oh,
first started, and like you're saying, Hank Parker, and even if you look at, Night in Hell and them guys and Bill
yep,
Jordan and, uh, uh, all them guys, I mean, like, it's they started doing those things, and they didn't know it either,
nope,
they started doing it without any knowledge, and we're gonna talk about that here in a little bit, but,
yep.
you come into this with 0 experience with
None.
video editing, content creation, or anything, and, just within the last probably 15 years, I'd say, content creation on a social media level has exploded.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
So it gives us outdoorsmen another avenue to get
Yep.
out there and get into it. But I was like you, the I was not the social butterfly as you want to, as you
Mm-mm.
you know,
Lord,
I
no.
didn't like to talk and things like that. But as I progressed through school and got to hang, I always hung out with older people than me. I didn't really hang out with a lot of my classmates or anything like that because I just
Yep.
always, growing up, I hung around older people, my aunts and my
Yep.
uncles and my cousins and things like that in deer camp. So I didn't really have a lot of cousins and let's see, well, I guess niece and nephews. I didn't really have any of those that was my age. Mom had me at 38 years old, so I was kind of like an oopsie baby.
Yeah. Yeah, like, "Oh, no, baby.
Yeah,
What we
yeah.
gonna do now?"
My brother, we were 16 years apart. Me and my sister's 12 years apart. So Um, yeah, when you're going to deer camp in a family like that and you have cousins that's the same age as your brother or just a little younger, then you hang out with a lot of older people.
Yep. So, after my dad passed away, I trying to of course, I wasn't doing videos and stuff then, and you're gonna recognize this when I tell you who it is. So, I kind of one thing led to another, and I got to know Mr. Dave Whitaker at Warriors in the Field.
Oh, yeah, I know Dave. My brother was really good friends with Dave.
Yeah, long story short, I got to volunteering for those guys or for him, basically.
Yeah.
And we started taking veterans hunting, and J&J Outdoor Video Magazine, he always videoed for his TV show that's aired locally there in Elkins. And I told Dave one day, I said, I said, "I'd like to video some stuff behind the scenes to capture some of that." And I tried that, and it was okay, but, it captured the moment, but the the narration wasn't the greatest. Thank God for AI. But I have also made so many friends and learned so much from other people by volunteer. It's funny how the Lord lays the plan out long before we ever think about it or know anything about it or even can comprehend it.
Yeah.
But he led me to that to meet all these different people to tell me things and encouraging, just a fantastic group of people that I've come to know and through that organization.
Yeah, it sure is a great organization. We've donated to them a couple of times. I've spoke with Dave at the Morgantown show. He's come up there a couple of times, and we've helped some of the guys out with some fishing apparel and things like that. But
Right.
Um, and I think we did some turkey calls as well for a turkey
Mm.
hunt that they had went on. But
So
yeah, it's a great thing. Any of those outfitting agencies or organizations that get veterans in the outdoors to kind of relieve the PSD or PTSD, whatever you want to call it, and that stress that they deal with and the aftermath
well,
is what they exactly need.
the first hunt that I got to go on with him, me and Dave had talked every single day for like 3 weeks. Never met the guy, seen pictures of him, really had never even, other than hear his voice, know nothing about him. So our first hunt was over at Mountain Meadow Hunt Preserve in Greenville.
Okay.
And one of the guys that was there, Scott Vetter, he was a disabled veteran. He got hurt after he got out of the military. He fell out of a tree stand, and that had
Oh wow.
paralyzed him from the waist down. And it was very recent that Dave took him on this hunt. And that really inspired me more than anything else in this world as far as volunteering and stuff like that. But the
Mhm.
first hunt I went on with Warriors in the Field was with Scott Vetter, and I was hooked in. I was like, I'm going to be there for every one of those I can possibly be there for.
Your mother's watching.
Yep.
She just commented in there.
Yep. I see her.
So you got to be good now.
She knows I'm always been good. Don't ask her to tell you any stories about me.
Uh-huh. Let's comment in some stories there, Mom. We'll talk about it here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh man. So we're going to take a break real quick here. A word from our sponsor.
All right.
We'll be right back with you, Greg.
10-4.
Hello, Hunt Chef Nation.
Turn any cooking experience into an extremely wild one with Hunt Chef's delicious dozen seasonings, jerky, snack sticks, and brine kits. All 12 seasonings are packed full of wild flavor, perfect on pork, beef, chicken, lamb, vegetables, soups, venison, elk, or any wild game. Order today at huntchef.com or call the Hunt Chef headquarters at 724-780-3377. Order today at huntchef.com or call 724-780-3377. And remember, eat what you kill. All right, guys, we're back with Gregg Bowman with Bowman Outdoor Adventures, and he's a fellow West Virginian here, and we've been talking about all things hunting, fishing, and faith. Really, we've been talking a little bit about God as well. Just to let you know, we have the Gen 7 ad up here there where he just episode 10 where they just put that out. And if you scan that QR code, that'll take you right to their page on Gen 7 Outdoors. And you can go to our YouTube page up the top there on the other QR code. And if you want to watch their live, you can. But we're live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. So a lot of people, it seems like a lot of people politically is on Rumble, but there is outdoor TV and outdoor channels on there. That's another network to where you can go and kind of freely say what you want and be yourself.
That's good. I don't like to be censored.
No, definitely not. And it seems like more and more here today, we're getting a bad taste of that.
Yes, absolutely. Our good buddy Dwayne is going through it now on Facebook.
Yeah, he sure is. So we left off talking about, you getting into this, having zero experience in video editing or content creation. So beginning with nothing but a phone, no fancy equipment. Tell us a little bit
Nothing.
about that experience.
Yeah, that was a little bit to get used to because I mean I really didn't have the money to buy anything. If I couldn't find it on Facebook Marketplace, odds are I wasn't going to get it. So I tried to do the best I could with it and to use the phone. And I quickly realized that when a deer's coming in, man, that phone is hard to use. Self filming is hard to do anyway.
It sure
And then,
is.
and then if you got to move around, then it's even harder. Now, fall back to bear hunting, the phone is probably one of the best things you can have. It's compact. You can stick it in your pocket. The audio is good. The video is great. The
Mhm.
zoom is okay. But if you got $1,000 iPhone in your pocket, going into Bearwood, slipping and falling 842 times, odds are you're going to break at some point. So
Yeah.
if you can, everything I've bought has been on Facebook Marketplace, except for a few minor details. But if you can, just start with that phone and hit that record button and learn as you go.
Yeah. So with you, with the bear hunters there and the houndsmen, how many of the bear hunters actually take a bear instead of just liking to get out there and hear the hounds run?
I would say 50%.
So
No,
it's a 50-50.
yeah, from my experience, it's about
Okay.
50%. Most of the people that want to shoot really don't have any dogs or handle any dogs. They're just the road people, the pickup people, the haul around, to do this. They like to shoot, but the man that feeds the dogs all the time, they don't like to shoot. But to backstory that, and we're in speaking in Virginia in particular, up until the last, I think, 10 or 12 years, once you pulled the trigger, you couldn't hunt anymore. You couldn't associate with anybody. You couldn't ride in a truck. You couldn't be in the woods. You couldn't do anything. So if you had 4 or 5 dogs and you killed a bear on the third day of a 5-week season, you were done. So a lot of people grew up, a lot of the hunters around me grew up with that mentality. So it's
Really?
just kind of bled over. Yeah. I mean, up until I don't know the exact date, but now you can go. You just can't carry a gun. But then you couldn't even, if somebody was actively bear hunting, you could not even stand and talk to them without risk of getting in trouble for it.
Goodness gracious, that's crazy. What was reasoning in that? Do you know? I mean,
I have no idea. It was just one of those old rules that somebody thought of 100 years ago. And let's put that in there. That's a good idea.
now that's since gone away.
Yeah, it went away right many years ago. I don't remember the exact year, but now if you do kill one on the first day, you can actively go. You just can't carry a gun anymore because you can only kill one.
I
So
gotcha.
you can still go. You can still take your dogs. You can still participate. You can do everything but shoot.
Yeah, see, with you talking about that and the regulations and things, a lot of people don't realize that West Virginia DNR has a commission meeting, and it's open to the public. You
Yeah.
can go and you can attend those meetings, and you can even actually speak in those meetings if you
Yep.
contact them ahead of the meeting to let you know, let them know what you're going to be asking and things like that. But Um,
That's so they can weed you out if they don't like what you're gonna ask.
well, I'm not sure if you have to get approval or not, or you can just show up and talk. I'm not
Yeah,
sure. I know that I just showed up. I wasn't speaking that night, but it may be more for the itinerary and stuff because they do introduce you. They do all that
yeah,
kind of stuff. You do have the director there. You have his and it's the you do have the people that's part of that district. If you whoever's over that district, you have them there if you're going to those different districts. And every district, from what I understand, is open to the public, and they do live stream the whole thing.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good thing. If if people want to get out there and get their voice heard, that is definitely a place that they can go do it. And
And you can
it's
always send emails and phone calls and all that stuff too, so
yeah,
don't feel like you're not heard.
yeah, it's always great to attend a meeting like that, show up in person, and then follow up with an email.
And that's another good thing about being on a content creator. Believe it or not, if you want your voice heard about stuff like that, say something negative about it
Yeah.
because eventually they will find you.
Oh yeah. Yep. For sure. All righty. Well, so learning through YouTube, trial and error, and self teaching. I'm sure you had a lot of, as you've spoke on some so far, early mistakes. And
Mhm.
what would you tell somebody else that's just getting started out in today's content creation, world in this social media area?
Make sure that you do it legally, ethically, and once you hit publish, the world eventually will know everything it is to know about you. But if you go out and you just wanna record just a walk through the woods, record everything you can about it, because I can't tell you how many times I would record something, and then 15 minutes later, when I'm already back at the house, I was like, I should have recorded that, and I didn't do it. So now I try to, even when I'm still hunting, I have cameras running all the time because you never know when the deer or whatever you're hunting is going to come in at the wrong angle.
Yeah.
Just record it, just like on Facebook. Record
Oh yeah.
everything you can. And if you don't know how to edit, just start into it and learn as you go and have YouTube on another device and type it in. And a lot of these editing softwares, like I use Power Director, it's through
Okay.
Cyberlink. And a lot of these editing things have so much AI now. If you don't know how to do it, like, hey, how do I cut this and make this uh, whatever you want it to be? You can type in what your prompt is and hit, and AI will talk you right out to it, show you a video to watch. Most of them have that help center right there, right at your fingertips.
Wow. That's great.
And I promise you that your first video is not going to be good. So don't overthink it like I did and spend 6 hours editing a video that for 12, 14 months now, 300 people have seen.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from on that end. We started doing videos back when we first started the Nature's Voice Game Calls company. Me and my brother, we started doing videos out in the woods. We started out just doing sound clips of our calls that we were making,
Yeah.
and then we started doing a little bit of hunting videos. And I was like, man, you go and you start to edit these things, and it takes amount of time, like
Forever.
you're it takes forever. Well, it used to take forever, but like with the technology that we have today, like you're saying, AI. I mean, my daytime job is with an engineering firm, and we have an AI committee. So
Hmm.
it's that big of a thing in the world that we live in and technology that AI is being used in some critical areas of our life.
One more thing that I can really highlight for people that want to start doing it is when you watch these professionals, the Michael Waddell's and
Hmm.
all of those people, they have professionals doing this that have trained to do it
Oh
and
yeah.
been doing it for years, and they know what to look for and to do. You can get about that much information from them, but do not try to copy any of these professionals. If you just want to be your average content creator,
Yeah.
and people really relate more to the common person than they do with those famous
Oh,
people. Yeah, a lot of them are idols to some, not me, but a lot of those are kind of drifting away.
hmm.
You go to YouTube and you pull up Bone Collector, just because that they're rich and famous, they don't have the viewing that some of these small content creators have.
Oh, I know. It's crazy to look back at that
Mhm.
and be like, man, this guy's got 25 million, followers, and
A
Michael
thousand
Waddell.
views.
Yeah, but it's just crazy how that works. But I guess they have the select people that follow them on a daily basis, monthly basis, or whatever you want to call it. But
Yeah,
Dave
and one
Dave Whitaker commented there. He said, when you sign in, you can mark that you want to speak. So if
okay.
you go when you go to these meetings and they have a sign-in sheet there, I did sign in, but I came in right before the meeting started. So and I do remember seeing that now that he says that. But yeah,
One
I didn't want to speak. I just I just wanted to be a part of it. At that
yeah.
point, you got to get in there and you got to kind of get your feel of things and what's going on. And
One thing you learn as you go and start videoing and editing and stuff is you can't never when you go to edit, you can't never have is that even how you say that? You can't never, that's like a double negative, have enough
yeah,
footage to
well,
edit.
that's what we do here in West Virginia. My wife gets on me all the time about a while ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
I was
say that
growing
a
up
lot.
in
I mean, like, I just went over a while ago and done that.
yeah. Yeah, that's not in the dictionary, just like ain't was when because I'm Gen X, when I was in English
Yeah.
class, we weren't allowed to say ain't, and now the word isn't really isn't used. Well, I just said it there, so I can't even use that one. But the word ain't, you get in trouble for using ain't, 'cause that's not a word. But now I got all kind of words that's not a word.
Yep. That's just, that's the way it is. So, going back to God and prayer and things like that.
Mhm.
So you had talked about you kept praying to God and asking Him for help and guidance in this area. Uh,
He's led me through it all.
so give some examples of the ways that God provided knowledge, creativity, and how He kept that going for you.
Well, I've already got chills and I ain't even started talking about it. But going back on YouTube, I got 2 stories, one YouTube, one Facebook. So going back on YouTube, I had made, I don't know, 2 dozen videos, maybe more, and I was burned out. I was coming up on 8 or 9, 10 months. I was burned out. I was like, nobody's watching. I had like 300 subscribers. I was like, man, I'm never going to make it. Of course, my wife, she's a big supporter. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. It's all in God's time, and she's a good reminder of God's timing too. And I know she's watching, but I'll let her
Wow,
know. She's a good
wife's are
reminder.
good for that.
Yeah, but I'm glad I got her in my corner. But
Yep, that's right.
up until the point, I said, God, I said, if this is the route you want me to go, then please, please show me, give me some sign that you want me to continue making YouTube videos. And up until that point, my most viewed video was like cleaning a camper roof. It had like 3,500 views out of, I think, 30 or 40. I don't even remember.
Oh, really?
The very next video, I was deer hunting with a crossbow. For all you crossbow haters, I'm sorry, but I hunt with a crossbow. So I done seen a bunch of deer, couldn't get a shot on them, and it was toward the end of the hunt. I heard something coming, and it was a coyote coming, and he kept coming closer and closer and closer, and he got to within 10 feet of me, and I shot him right. I was trying to shoot him in the old medulla, but I'm kind of grazed his old head and hit him right in the neck, and it buried down in him. He squalled out and took off running and died. And I put that video up, and I didn't have the kill scene on it, which I had to put a couple people remind me of that. But after I prayed that prayer, that video now is at 101,000 views.
Goodness gracious! And is that on Facebook or YouTube?
That's on YouTube. But I
Oh,
up until that, I'd had like 3,500 or so. I don't remember exactly, but and I prayed that prayer, and the very next video, it took off and went crazy. It gained 200 and some subscribers, and it kind of bottomed out after about, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks, and at 100 and some thousand views. I was like, you have got to be kidding me, God. I know what the sign is now. There it is.
yeah, that's awesome.
Kind of the same thing happened on Facebook. I mean, I was concentrating on YouTube and Facebook. I had Facebook for years. I was like, man, I was like, I ain't making no money on YouTube. I done spent. I listened to everybody else. I got to buy this after I realized that the phone was not sufficient for me. It works great for a lot of people, but it wasn't working for me. I was like, I need to get this, and I need to get this. And then once again, I was watching these big high dollar hunting videos. They have the best of the best. I need this, but I was like, I'm not making money, but I'm spending money. So I said, all right. I'm going to try Facebook. So I started making some goofy reels. I'd film going down. Yeah, don't do this at home. I was filming going down the interstate, putting a little clip onto it. Now, of course, I got don't video in the car. Okay, I won't. So then I started making some stuff about the Word of God while I was driving down the road. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. It was doing good, and I was like, and the best part about that was I'll get into the rest of the story. I got sidetracked, but when I started making these videos and started giving them God's word, you wouldn't believe it. The people that come at me that I hadn't talked to in years come at me. Are you a preacher? I was like, no, ma'am, or no, sir, I am not.
Mhm.
However, I mean, I read it, I follow, I'm faithful, and all that. Well, then they would start. Would you please pray for me? I'm going through this or I'm going through that. Please pray for me. So then, once again, I'm getting chills. So I was like, all right, this is what it's calling for. Well, once again, it kind of died out a little bit. I was like, well, maybe that ain't what he wants me to do, but he still wants me to, I know that he still wants me to have his word involved in it somehow. So
Mhm.
if any reel now, I try to say today is a good day for you to accept Jesus into your heart before it's eternally too late.
Mhm.
So I prayed again. I said, God, I said, well, let me back up. I did a video. Mr. Tucker, he's from West Virginia. You can look him up on on Facebook. Great video. He's too blessed to be depressed and too happy to be sappy. So that,
Oh, I've heard that.
yeah. So I remixed that reel and it got like 400 and some thousand views. I was like, well, I might be onto something. Of course, I was watching Dwayne too, and he was slowly bringing tons of followers in. I was like, well, let me try that with my twist on it. So I started kind of following his lead on all of that stuff.
Mhm.
Didn't gain a whole lot. It had about 1,000 follow. Well, I actually had 1,297 friends and followers. Is what I had, and that was back late March of this year. And I prayed and I said, God, if this is the direction you want me to go, once again, just like YouTube, please show me a sign of what you want to do.
Mhm.
3 reels later, 2 million views. A-
Wow.
And the followers started banging, 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 and they're still like 1,000 a day now. 11 reels after, because I do 2 or 3 reels a day. 11 reels after that is sitting at 11.1 million. Late March, I was at 1,297 followers. Right now, I'm at 26,000, like 500,
Man, that's
just by
crazy.
praying and asking for His guidance. But
Yeah.
also, to top it all off, 90% of the prayers every day, somewhere in there, I say, God, bless me over my finances. Show me what you want me to do, and everything I buy, spend, whatever, make sure that it is pleasing, and you bless it. So I hadn't made any money anywhere else. I After that video about Mr. Tucker, I got monetized. I think it was 1st of April or so. The 1st of April till now, I've made almost $3,000
Wow.
just by praying. No, nothing else but God, just by praying.
Hmm. That's awesome. So
Yeah,
with you,
he blows me away every day.
yeah. So with the influencer that you are and including God in this, would you say that God is the real director behind Bowman Outdoor Adventures?
100%.
Yeah.
All of my videos, all of my videos on YouTube, right now the YouTube videos that I have are bleeding over. I'm putting them on Gen 7 until I can get some new ones on there. But all my videos, all my reels, somewhere, something that I do, the personal reels, I say something about him
Yeah.
too.
That's
Because
awesome.
I'm telling you, when you start talking about it, because some people are afraid to open up about it.
Yeah.
And when you
Yeah.
start talking about it, these people that was private message me, I hadn't seen or heard from them in 30 years, high school days. I
Mhm.
need you to pray for me. I'm going through this, or I'm going through that, or my husband don't love me, or think I'm whatever, and I'm having a hard time, and I'm losing my faith, and then it ends up being a message for weeks.
Yeah. Most of the time, that's how our, messages and teachings when it comes to other people
Hmm.
happen is from our own life experiences.
Well, once again, I pray that, hey, search me and use me today. And when somebody hits play, that they see you through me. And that's exactly what's happened many
Yeah.
times over and over.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, we've hit on your stories there of your behind the channel, behind the scenes, how God has done those things.
Yep.
So, types of content that you create, obviously hunting, fishing, camping, scouting, family trips, etc.
Yep.
So, tell us a little bit more about some of how your Facebook page is a little different from your YouTube page.
Yeah. So Facebook is, I'm still talk about hunting some because you got to be careful because they'll kick you off of it if you ain't careful. So I shot a gun and then my views dropped for about 3 weeks. So
Wow.
I kind of just remix a lot of reels and add my spin at the end of it or talk about it, or I put some reels of other people's together. And but sometimes they're just talking head like every morning or every evening when I'm not at work, of course, or
Yeah.
sometimes at work, but don't tell my workplace about that. But it's break time. I would go on record now. It's break time. I'll step outside. I'll hear God say, "Hey, go say this." But then sometimes you go out, and if it's not His time, and then I can't say enough about it. You
Hmm.
go out, all right, I'm gonna make a reel just because I hadn't done it today, and it's not His time, and you go out there and your tongue gets thick and you can't say anything, and you just wasted all your time trying to record. But when you feel it, and He tells you, He's going to put the words in your mouth, just like what I'm doing here right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got to be open. We got to be listening.
So
And
those type of people want to feel good and laugh, and that's what I try to do. I try to I search all the time looking for a funny reel that I can borrow and just add my little scat on the end of it and say a few words about how dumb they are or whatever.
yeah. So, what does an ideal day of filming look like for you?
If I'm in the hunting woods, of course the animal's got to act right. He got to have his P's and Q's together and come in at the right angle. But there is, if you're an outdoor content creator, you learn to adapt
Hmm.
because you're not going to predict the direction that animal comes. You're
Yeah.
not going to predict your shot. You're going to forget to press record. You're going to forget to say something. I mean, all of that comes in play. But the ideal time is, of course, the weather's got to be right, not windy, because that screws your audio up.
Yeah.
But the animal needs to come in. You got to try to predict, because I hunt on the ground. I don't hunt in a tree stand. I'm not allowed to, I don't think. I'd have to ask her. She might comment, tell me if I'm allowed to or not. But
Mom.
well, her and the wife, because she's upstairs watching. But
Oh, I got you. I got you. Got you.
it's like riding a dirt bike. They don't want me to ride a dirt bike no more either. So I have
How
to
old
ask
are you,
her.
Greg?
53.
Okay.
Yeah, 53. But if I'm in the woods and you set up, I got 3 cameras I take now. You want the ideal no wind, clear, no fog. The animal needs to cooperate. God's got to be in your favor. But the first thing I do, and I forget sometimes, but I'll go back to it, is 100% of the time at some point, I'll ask God and say, if it is your will, please provide me an opportunity with the animal that you want to present in front of me, and I'll handle the rest. Sometimes I screw that up, but he'll provide the opportunity if you're faithful to listen to him.
Yeah, so that's how you're balancing being present in the moment and
Yep.
capturing the moment. So,
Yep.
tell us a little bit about how different those two things are when you got that big buck coming in and you're also trying to capture the content for that.
And if you're trying to capture most of it, is have your action cameras, GoPro, DJI, both of them work great. Have those set up to record all the time in a couple various directions. And then if you got a phone or your other camera, have it ready on standby. Don't be on your phone looking at reels like I've been caught before, but have your other camera ready.
They've come
But
in and got you, huh?
yeah, come in and look up and he's standing there already blowing at me. Because
Yep,
I,
yep.
'cause I was watching John Doe over here trip over a log or something.
Mhm.
But always be ready because you expect the unexpected. If you're a content creator and you want to film hunting, it is almost impossible to self film during the rut because it's so unexpected.
Mhm.
And I was putting the camera up one day and a deer walked up in front of me. And all I had was a little GoPro over my shoulder that was able to capture it, not zoom. It was terrible footage, but I got a little bit out of it anyway.
Well, that's good. So, challenges and growth. Let's go over some like your
Yeah,
challenges when it comes to like time, gear limitations, technology,
all of
self
that.
consistency. What are some other things that you would go through?
Yeah, I mean, trying to just get the best foot. Everybody watching wants to see the kill shot, and
Yeah.
it's very hard to capture that if you self film. It's very hard to capture that if somebody's filming you, but it's even double hard if you're self filming. So you want to get that. And some of the challenges you forget if it's man, I get tore up over a little yearling doe coming in, so it's hard for me to hit record most of the time, and I try real hard. I mean, I get to breathing hard. A little old doe weighs 40 pounds. I get to breathing hard because I think about how good it tastes. But yeah, I mean, some of the challenges are you've got to remember to do all of that stuff. You got to remember to make sure you're focused. I mean,
For
if you
sure.
put it on autofocus and you got a bush in front of you, it's going to focus on that bush and everything behind it's going to be blurry. So you got to
Mhm.
remember to focus. You got to remember the sound. You got to turn the mic on if you ain't already. You got to have it
Oh, yeah.
push record. Make sure the batteries stay charged. The gun's ready. I mean, it's 102 things going on for a 1 second trigger pull.
Yeah.
That because nobody wants to see none of that other stuff but the trigger pull on a
A
hunting
lot of
video.
those a lot of those things to check off on that list.
It is. It's a whole lot, and I can't tell you. I mean, I videoed 30 minutes one day walking out of the woods talking about, I think, building blinds on the ground or something, and I looked down and I'd never hit record. So I
So
was like, "Dang."
what's some advice that you could give some inspiring creators right now as we get into, you growing and having 25,000 followers on Facebook?
Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be anybody. Don't try to be anybody else. You need to be yourself. You need to learn to talk to you. So you need to, I call it a staff meeting. You need to learn how to have a staff meeting with yourself because it's hard to, when you first hit record, it's hard to talk to yourself and everybody sounds stupid, but don't be afraid of it because we're all like that. There's
Yeah.
no different. We're all the same. The Mr. Beast, the biggest guy on YouTube, he started out with nothing, filming nothing, 0 followers. Now he's a multi-millionaire
Oh, yeah.
because he hit record and he
He's
wasn't
got his
afraid.
own chocolate bar out now.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, last year, he took in $54 million.
Woo!
Yeah. Kendall Gray, look at his first video. I think he reviewed a whatever it was, a swim bait or something, like 90 seconds long, and now he's, like, huge on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere
Gracious.
because he wasn't afraid to hit record. Pick up the phone and hit record. If you wanna record a squirrel hunt, if you wanna record camping, whatever your niche is, hit that record button and produce it, and don't try to be perfect. When you try to be perfect, it's when you're gonna mess up.
Yeah. Yep. Isn't that truth? Well, tell our listeners where they can support you, whether it be watching, subscribing, sharing, or even just prayer.
Yeah, start off with a prayer. I mean, that's the most you can do for anyone is pray for them. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all under my name, Gregg Bowman. Gen 7 Outdoors TV app. And I can't, I've been talking about this for months now. It's going to be huge. And if you don't watch it, you're missing out. And it's under Bowman Outdoor Adventures. My name is on the other three. I don't have TikTok and Rumble, that stuff, but Facebook, Instagram, YouTube is Gregg Bowman, and Gen 7 is Bowman Outdoor Adventures.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Gregg, we sure appreciate you coming on this evening. It was
Yes,
great
sir.
having
Glad
you,
to be
sir.
here. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
glad
sir.
to be here. First one ever. So if I screwed up, it's God's fault because I asked him to
No,
put his words in my mouth. No, I'm
You,
just kidding. It's never his fault.
that's
He put the
right.
words in my mouth he wanted me to say.
You got that right. No, you did a great job. So, guys, be sure to go check him out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all of his other platforms. Gen 7 Outdoors is where they air most of their episodes. And
Yep.
you've got all 10 episodes there now?
Shoot, I got 17 now.
17. All right, guys.
Yep.
So go check those out. And Gregg, again, thank you for your time. And it was a
Thank
pleasure
you,
having
sir.
you on the show.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate you.
All righty. You have a great evening.
You
All
too,
right,
brother.
guys. Be sure to check us out on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, YouTube, Carbon TV, Gen 7 Outdoors, or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't remember, you can go to naturesvoicegamecalls.com and use podcast 15 at checkout to get 15% off of your entire order. Thank you again, Gregg. Thanks,
sir.
everybody, for listening and watching. You all have a great evening.
Y'all too.
This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Apparition Scents, an outdoor and sporting goods company based in Dilliner, Pennsylvania. All of their scents developed and hand bottled with strict attention being paid to every detail. Contact them today at 724-998-7646 or check them out at apparitionsense.com. 100% lethal or your money back guaranteed. Get a hold of them today at 724-998-7646 or check them out at apparitionsense.com. Do you want durable 100% carbon fiber arrows? Warhead Arrow Company. Warhead Arrow Company is 100% carbon fiber constructed hunting arrows with bone-shattering penetration. Durable, tough, yet reliable when it comes to the moment of truth. Their target arrows are world-class in accuracy and precision, an arrow that target archers can depend on to reach the top of their game. Warhead Arrow Company. Check them out today at warheadarrowco.com. That's Warhead Arrow Company. warheadarrowco.com.